Hi guys, Fancy Manda here. I'm just going to show you guys how to make single Greek letters that you put on your shirt. I actually am going to make these for a lady that I think is very sweet, and I think she would like these letters. She's a sweetheart of this local fraternity at our school, so I think she'll really like some Grumpy Cat letters. So here we go. So what I do is I use the heat bond that is it's called Heat and Bond Light. It's the purple one. It's the one that you do need to sew because it's not as strong as the no sew one, which I still recommend adhering a little further than just leaving it. Alright, so the local fraternity is Chi Omega Psi. This is a Chi. Alright, and I have stencils for every Greek letter available. See, I have tons of them. So this is alright. So we're gonna do the Chi, the Omega, and the Psi. So this is the Chi. The X is the Chi. This is the Omega. And this is the Psi. So we are going to first trace these onto the heat bond. So you take it and you hold it to your shirt to make sure you're doing it the right direction. I've also written on mine so that I know which direction that they need to go. So you just trace it. It's very simple, very easy. Just make sure you trace it nicely, because this is the base shape that you're going to cut off after you put it on the fabric. And then I always put a little note on the back of it once I pull it up, so that I can remember that this is the up direction. Okay. Okay, and then where I have so much of this, I don't really mind to take up some space. Some people do it differently. This is what I find to be the most convenient and accurate way of doing this. So you just trace it. Whoop. And that does happen, you just keep going. The Psi is one of those shapes where you don't have to worry about which direction it goes. It's the same either way. Usually, unless it's a stylistic one, which I don't have any stylistic letters other than sigmas. So this is up. And then the Omega is the same. Either direction you put it on is going to be the same. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to trace that. Make sure you get even these little spots here. Go down. And make sure you're holding this in place very good, because you don't want it to be misshapen. You want it to be pretty symmetrical. So there you go. You have your base out for the Chi, the Psi, and the Omega. Of course, they're in the wrong order, but so what we would do is we would just cut this so that you're not using your whole roll as you once you have that cut out, you can go ahead, especially if it's like character fabric, where this is the Grumpy Cat fabric, you might want each letter to have its own specific face. So I like to go ahead and additionally just cut out each letter on its own so that I can place it wherever I want it. And I have a tendency to buy enough fabric where I can make that decision. So when you go to put your letters on your fabric, you want to make sure that you're putting it on the back side of the fabric. Okay? You don't want to put it on the front side, because then you would be using the ugly side as your front letter, the part that everybody is going to see. So you're going to want to do it on the back side. So you want to go ahead and iron that a little bit to get some of the folds out. So go ahead and just do that. And then luckily with this fabric you can see through pretty well where the ink is, and you can choose where you would like your letter to be. So remember, this side is up. This is the side that everybody is going to see. You're going to find where you want your first letter to go, and you just take your iron and iron it down. I always try to not put my letter on the there's a raw edge of each side, and it has little holes and sometimes writing, like the writing isn't on this side, but there is holes. There's writings on the other side that tells you the company that makes the fabric. So I go ahead and I put that, and from what I see, I'll have some eyes, a little bit of the grumpy face, and then some more grumpy face here. And then just continue with your, you can even, if you feel like that's just gonna make too much waste, you can trim it down. You don't want to trim it all the way down. I have seen people that trim it all the way down, but that leaves it so that when you go to sew it down, it'll fray, and I don't like my letters to fray. So let's see, where do I want this one? I want to be able to see some of that face pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. You get that real nice grumpy look of the Grumpy Cat. And I have used this fabric once before for one of my little sisters. She likes cats, and I like cats. And I should have made myself a set, but I haven't. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and put the last letter down. And the reason I chose to do this also local fraternity is because there's a lot of licensing that you need to go through, and I don't really think that people should be, unless they're in a national Greek organization, I don't think that they should be promoting how to make those letters. So like when I make a video on how to do a double face letter, I will be doing sigmas, but that's because I am a sigma and I will be making them for my little sister or for myself, whoever I'm making them for. So here we're going to put the last one down, and you can get kind of close to the other one if you want. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I'm getting some good, alright. And then you just go ahead and put that down. And then just, and then what I do is, since I have so much fabric, I don't really mind having some waste. I just go ahead and cut that out like this so that I can put the fabric away. And then you just go ahead and cut them out, which we'll go ahead and do. Just cut them out. be very careful when cutting these out because this is your final product. This is, you want it to look good on your shirt. So try, just take it slow. And this is the most time-consuming part, unless you're really bad at sewing, and sometimes that can be the time-consuming part. I, however, enjoy sewing. It relaxes me, so it's not very. It doesn't take very long for me. However, with letters that I'm not used to sewing, they do take me just a little bit longer. Yeah. So. Now, with the Omega, that's a letter that you can choose to cut out the little decorative sides. That is for somebody who has a little bit more patience. I'm going to go ahead and do it, but it also looks fine if you don't. So that's something that you can always leave out if you don't have much patience. So you just snip it just a tiny bit, enough to get your scissor in there, and then you just wiggle it around basically. You be very, very careful with this, however, because you can cut yourself, and that isn't necessarily a positive thing. And there you have it. You have a single faced set of letters, of Greek letters, and they're simple and easy to make. What you would do then, and I will go ahead and eventually make a video on how to put them on a shirt, but you would take the backing off, which is the paper from the adhesive, the bonding, and then you would iron the letter onto the shirt the way that you want them on there, and then you would sew them on. Simple and easy. If you liked this video, please comment, like, subscribe. If you would like to know how to make anything else, or would like to see me attempt to make anything else in a how-to or an art video, please give me comments of suggestions. I would love to have some suggestions. Also, I try to post every Sunday, and I may try to start posting another day during the week. So, like I said, comment, like, subscribe. It helps a lot. Thank you, and have a beautiful day. Bye.